I'm Batman.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me? Who's got you?
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I'm a doctor, but probably not the one you expect.
I'm Captain Kirk.
Welcome everyone to the Special Geek This Week presentation, and this is the Back to the Future panel from Pensacon 2021 from the Pensacola Little Theater in downtown Pensacola. And this panel has Donald Fullilove, who played Mayor Goldie Wilson in Back to the Future, Harry Waters Jr., who played Marvin Barry, who was the leader of the band in Back to the Future. Also, Jeffery Weissman, who played George McFly in Back to the Future's Part 2 and 3. And finally, Claudia Wells, who played Jennifer Parker in Back to the Future. Sit back and watch as in this panel they talk about their time making the Back to the Future movies, what got them into, how they got into the movie, and much, much more, and how it's impacted their lives and pop culture today. When you get done, check out all the other great content on the Geek This Week YouTube channel. Check out all the other great Pensacon panels and much, much more. Thank you guys for your support. Hope you enjoy the video.
Jackson on Saturday morning TV. You've heard his voice on Wally and Up, American Dad, Bob the Builder. Let's welcome Mayor Goldie Wilson himself, Donald Fullilove. On the dance floor with his rendition of Earth Angel and gave some very good advice to his cousin Chuck. Let's welcome Marvin Barry himself, Harry Waters Jr. It's George McFly, Back to the Future 2 and 3. Welcome, please, Jeffery Weissman. And she played Jennifer Parker in the original Back to the Future. Also took on the role of Linda Barrett, the TV spin-off for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I say that because my name's Barrett too. Please welcome Claudia Wells! And remember, guys, thanks so much for coming to Pensacon. We appreciate you.
It's like 2021 and we're making a real theater. Yes, people! Okay, wait. Oh, yes! Thank you. So we kind of run over the on social media somewhere very shortly. And sometimes we just don't need a moderator because we start talking, so I guess we should probably actually turn this is moderator Bob. Moderator Bob.
so I had to back out. They recast my part. I did my series. Eric filmed for 8 or 9 weeks, and then he was let go. And the girl that they recast my part with is 5'7", and they're still talking, aren't they? And I'm 5'3" and a half, and Michael's 5'4", so I got my part back. Yay! That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's a good story.
What's yours, Jeffrey?
I was born at a very early age. I want to actually seize the moment and shift gears for a second, and because a lot of people were hoping to see from the original cast Elsa Raven here, and unfortunately we lost Elsa, and I'd love to see if you guys have any stories about her. We want to pay tribute to Elsa Raven, the Save the Clock Tower lady who was supposed to be
She wore the
here.
same sweater every time we saw her that she wore in the movie. That's my story.
I originally met her at our first cast reunion at the Hollywood Show in 2008, and she was the most delightful, friendly, warm angel of a person. And God bless you, Elsa. She's here in spirit with us, yeah?
If I was a boy, my mom was going to name me Jeffrey.
Really?
Yeah.
If I was a girl, never mind.
Okay, Donald's up.
Whoa. Did you have any idea, as you were making it, what this was going to become?
No.
So when your child is born, do you have any idea that they're going to become like who they are? No, of course not.
That was a little too deep for me.
That was so
But in answer to your question, it's a Steven Spielberg film,
Yes.
so you know that it's going to be seen.
Something.
It's a Steven Spielberg film, so you know it's going to be famous. 30 some odd years later, though, and didn't quite know this.
36 years.
That's an odd. He's a professor.
But I heard the same thing from Leah. Leah Thompson has also said that she at the time thought it was just another job. Claudia said that it's amazing to.
I knew that was just another job.
I mean that it wasn't going to be the huge
Major cultural success that it turned to be. I mean, we knew it was going to be a big film, obviously, with Spielberg, so we figured it would be, something, I'm in a Spielberg film, but as an actor, that was a gig, so once that gig was over and the movie was released, it was all about, the next gig, and then all these years later, all of a sudden, in 2009, somebody said, hey man, your character is famous. Like, shut your mouth. And I had just started doing this thing called the Google, and I did the Google and I put my name in and I was like, wow. And that was like 11 years ago. And it seems like Back to the Future continues to grow and grow with each generation. I just like to thank all you guys for making that possible. Thank you.
And you talk about a big movie. The president mentioned it during his State of the Union address that year. Wasn't that
Which president did that?
That was youngest Reagan.
He did. So yeah, it's a phenomenon. Like I said, it continues to grow, and it gives us the opportunity to travel all around the world and get a chance to meet you guys and actually see you and talk to you and stuff like that. So that's what makes it cool for me.
Actually, for me, it makes me legitimate in my students' eyes because I actually know what the hell I'm talking about. Because I'm a real actor and I teach theater at McAllister College. What's my from McAllister? I'm retiring this year. But the fact that we do this for a living comes across in different kinds of ways. Look, I'm going to turn to Professor for a moment. I will let you know because what we do actually has meaning and it changes people's lives. I mean, look at all of you here. You could be home watching Netflix and watching us there, apparently. You have any questions about the moderator, Bob, or your style?
I'll let you guys know that. I just want to. You got on the soundtrack and you were getting serious airplay.
Well, I had no idea it was going to be in the soundtrack because all I know is my audition, I had no idea what this movie was about. I never saw a script. So it was like, come in, sing this song, play with all the extras. I had to have 8 girls. I said, for me to do this song, I need those 8 girls there every single take. So they got extra money, which was great. But doing the song was for a click track, what they call a click track, when you're rehearsing and you're shooting it. And then they decided to record it for the album. And I thought they were going to have somebody like the Four Tops, who knows, anybody other than me. And Alan Silvestri, the real one, not the one in Italy, there's an Italian guy named Alan Silvestri, said, do you want to record the song? And I went, yeah, why not? We did 14 takes, that's what I call it, the little pieces that put it together. I left. I had my brother, my favorite little brother, came with me to the studio. We got to hang out. And then in that year when it opened, 1985, we're sitting in the theater, and the song happens. I go, oh my God, is that me? And then the freaking orchestra busts into that thing when his parents kiss, and everybody screamed. So I'm really happy that this happened. Plus, I got to be on a gold album with Huey Lewis and the News and James.
We have a cute little symbiosis that happened in the beginning, the casting of this wonderful film. I met Spielberg, Zemeckis, and Gill before Harry did, and one of the first questions out of Robert Zemeckis' mouth was, can you sing? I thought that was an odd question, and being an honest person that was scared to death because I was in front of Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis, I told the truth. I said no. Could you imagine if he was Goldie Wilson and I had been Marvin Barry?
It wouldn't have sounded as good. I
love this game. But no, there was a little trivia there, so for your knowledge.
And fortunately, we do get along, so that's, and I know that he understands that this was a missed opportunity, and
we got a gold record. A bona fide gold record. That was awesome.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, so Bob.
Hey, moderator Bob. I'm a moderator, not a referee. I'm sorry. Jeffrey, you took over in number 2. I imagine there's a story.
There's a little bit of a story. I knew that Back to the Future was the highest grossing film of 1985 when I heard about the rumors of it being in pre-production for the sequel. And I was performing, in 84, I had done a film with Clint Eastwood called Pale Rider. And, watching the summer movies coming out, Back to the Future was wiping everything else. I was happy that I was in something that summer. But I had worked with Crispin Glover on a film at the American Film Institute. And so when I saw him on the big screen as George, I was like, I know that dude, he's knocking it out of the park. He was awesome. He owned that role so well. And so 4 years later, I get a call from an agent who says, do you know who Crispin Glover is? Are you the same height and weight? And I said, no, he's taller than me. And is this for the Back to the Future sequels? They were looking for a stand-in body double, I was told. I said, get me in there. So I went and met with the assistant director, then I went through casting, and then I started going through prosthetic makeup fittings and a body cast fitting, and then did a screen test for Robert Zemeckis and Dean Cundy. And a very curious thing happened during the test. I'm in the young George makeup. I figured they needed George in multiple places at the same time. At this point, I didn't know that Crispin was having any trouble with his contract. And Zemeckis says to Cundy, so what do you think, Dean? And Dean says, I think we have Crispin without the trouble. And I was like, what does that mean? We have Crispin without the trouble. And it was my makeup artist, Ken Chase, who actually got fired the first day of shooting, who says, Crispin's out, you're going to be George. And I was like, what? I couldn't fathom how they were going to make the film without him. He was so key, George was. But sure enough, I did all of it. The fighting Biff in the parking lot, the kiss with Lorraine at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, hanging upside down. I just learned recently why I was hung upside down. The story goes that George was playing golf and the car fell out of the sky and he wrenched his back, right? I just learned recently that Crispin on the first film would not hit his marks for camera. So Bob and Bob decided, well, we'll hang him upside down, he'll be on a rail, and that way we can force him to hit his marks.
Hooray for Hollywood.
And during the shoot, you know, the week and a half that we're doing those interiors in 2015, I had a 19-hour day, 21-hour day, a 26-hour-long day.
That's not a day.
Hanging upside down.
That's more than a day. Did they tell you that? That's more than a day?
I had one of the crew guys come up and say, you know, all this torture hanging upside down was meant for Crispin. And I was like, yeah, okay. So yeah, it was a very interesting predicament. And finally, when part 3 came out, and you know, we'd seen that they mixed close-ups of Crispin with my work to make it seem like he was still in the film. Crispin called me up and said, you know, what they did to me is unfair. And I was like, I think so. And so he told me how he was kind of abused by production on the first film, and he got my sympathy, and I showed him pictures and stories, and that's how he kind of won his case, settled out in court for $750,000. That's the story. And I always kind of kept in obscurity. I was not allowed to promote myself. I think they purposely were trying to keep me a secret.
You were upside down.
I was upside down. That's what people think. He was upside down because they obscured him. They didn't want people to know what was Crispin. I was like, no, they couldn't keep him on his marks. So there's a lot of urban legend now that I'm involved with this weird story. But because I helped Crispin, it unfortunately came back to bite me with the studio, and then now Crispin doesn't even talk to me. I don't know.
Okay, the therapist will be here. There'll be, you know, a grief care counselor over there in the room.
Thank you.
I was in the department with Crispin in high school.
He's a good actor. He's brilliant.
I was in a scene with Crispin eating cereal.
Claudia, you didn't make it to the second movie.
I did not make it to the second movie.
I've read stories about that. Would you like to?
Well, okay, so I was supposed to be into the 3, and I was told actually the part was really, really big. And my mom got very ill after Back to the Future 1. She was diagnosed with a 4th stage lymphoma. And so our lives got turned upside down, and I just decided not to act for a while. Yeah. That meant saying no thank you to Back to the Future. But they were very nice about it. And they waited for quite a while, and I just kept sitting outside. It was too much going on at home. So.
A few years after it came
Damn
out.
on that story.
A few years after it came out, we got in touch somehow. And do you remember how we met? Wendy Jo Sperber, who played Linda McFly.
Oh, yeah.
She had, unfortunately, breast cancer and started a cancer support center called We Spark. And Claudia said she wants us to come up to her fundraiser in Santa Barbara. I'll drive. I was like, I'm going to go drive for a few hours with Claudia Wells and Jennifer Parker. And that's how we got to know each other. And it was just brilliant. And lovely Wendy Jo had all those celebrities. Do you remember Bryan Cranston was the auctioneer? And I'm just, Garner.
Caught in the memory, little Jeffrey.
It was really lovely. It was funny. I'm starstruck.
Boyfriends in the memory. Here comes Bob and Bob again. No, Bob.
Hello, Bob. I'm going to put Jeffrey on the spot here right now because I understand you have some audio-visual to show us.
Oh, yes, so in 2015, we did an anniversary reunion in London at London Film and Comic-Con, and the thousands of people from all over Europe came out to meet us. We had 11 of the cast members there in the Q&A like this. The majority of them dressed as Marty, Jennifer, some as Biff. It was amazing. And, Jeremy, we have a few of those slides. Can we show a couple of those pictures? There we go. This is the Danish female Marty and the German Biff. It's just amazing how much around the world people love the trilogy. We have did a Zoom recently with the Japanese fans. There were about 30 of the Japanese on this Zoom call, and every single one of them were dressed as a Back to the Future character. It's so surreal and wonderful.
Have you noticed that no one ever dresses as Marvin Barry?
You do.
I do.
You do. You got it. So I just want to also let you know that art fans have also been making art of us. Don has a bobblehead, which is available at this show. Marketing.
One-time price of $39,999.95.
Harry has, of course, you have a doll that they made for you in Argentina, right?
It's a limited edition.
Right.
So, I mean, there's 4 actually.
And Jeremy, do you have my action figure? Can you show that? And that was 3D printed by a fan. In fact, that fan, Brad Fife, is the most incredible Griff. He put together Griff's gang and have exact cosplayers that beat us up when we do events with them. And so they try to keep me a secret. And so I was cut from the making of documentaries that have come out through the ages. And I had a friend who was the boom man on it, and he actually got me some of the footage. So can we roll that, and I'll tell you what's going on here. To be on set by 9 a.m., I had to be in the makeup chair by 4 a.m. And here I am getting the prosthetics made, glued on for George McFly. You see in the chair next to me, Leah, getting made up as older Lorraine. Wonderful makeup artists, Kitty Mayers, Marvin Westmore, the Westmore family, Sonny Berman is working on me. Ken Chase designed everything. Nancy Basta, Zoltan and his wife, who got the Academy Award for Mask. We had the best in the industry working on all of it. And so we get glued in for a couple hours and then maybe get a half an hour for breakfast. They didn't want us eating. If we ate, it would crack the edges of the makeup, and it was like just eating through a straw. So Sonny Berman, who's working on me there, unfortunately just passed away this last year, and he's of the Berman brothers, who produced a lot of the Star Trek series and such, legends.
How did you get this? Who did you?
I had a friend who was on the making of documentary crew, and he knew.
So it wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
Can you get me my actions?
So when I was cast, they gave me everyone's screen test. And in one of the screen tests, makeup tests with Tom and Crispin, you hear Tom say, McFly, what is that, an Irish bug? So he improvised that. A lot of things, it was great.
They gave you everyone's audition?
Well, there's screen tests for makeup. Yeah.
Oh, for the makeup.
Yeah, so lots of fun improv with Leah and Crispin, really great stuff.
You should sell it.
Oh, yeah. So do we have sound on this by chance? So you can see the close-up makeup of young George here.
Singing that. And if you come to the prom tonight, I'll be singing it again.
So this is a premiere. This has not been shown before. But first,
store, Armani Wells. And I was doing a Instagram live or Facebook live while I was driving, and I was like, wow, this is hard to drive. And then later on in the day, Fergie said to me, did you find the car kind of hard to drive? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you forgot to take off the brake.
So, if you like DeLoreans, go to Amazon Prime and look up Fastest DeLorean in the World, Part 1 and 2, and you'll see some interesting shots of the mayor and the fastest DeLorean in the world.
And that guy who got the fastest DeLorean in the world got it because I responded to his Facebook message to me asking me for coffee. And then he said, I wrote that 3 years ago, now I'm married with kids. And I said, oh, well, you want to come to my store? And he came to my store, we were talking, and during that conversation, he decided to buy a DeLorean. Yes.
And as a result of that, the story continues. He has a mini golf course in his backyard called GolfCon. He invited Claudia to do a special event. Claudia called me up and asked me if I'd like to come, and now Adam Contras, which is his name,
now they're best friends.
Besties. So this Back to the Future thing is just giving and love.
By the way, did we mention about the golf? Who won?
I don't remember.
Who's the real golf player?
I'm gonna say Claudia just for the sake of it.
I'm not the real golf player, but
Anybody else have one?
All right, get those hands up.
We've had DeLorean owners from around the world. There are 5 guys from Germany who circumnavigated the entire world that showed up at my house in their DeLoreans. All my neighbors were like, what the heck is going on? And it was because the DeLorean owners kind of adopted us, and we go to their shows as guests. In fact, what was it, Chicago, or the Columbus, Ohio show was the first time we saw a musical version of Back to the Future performed by a high school, and it was unbelievably wonderful. And I think that's where Bob Gale got the idea to do his musical that's opening again in London later this month. Yeah.
Huh. Somebody in pink back there raised their hand.
Yeah. We got a mic up there for it.
hi!
Oh, I don't need a mic. So I was just curious, what was it like seeing Michael as a girl? In the second film when he played his daughter, what was it like seeing him as a girl?
Oh, she was cute.
How much makeup was that?
Because when I, as old George, hanging upside down, come to the door and you see Marlene answer the door, for the first rehearsal or two, my head was right butt level with her. And her hot pants, they put her in hot pants that were orange and kind of stuffed them a little bit. So I kind of looked like a pumpkin, so I came up with the line, House Granddad's Little Pumpkin. The original wig they had her in too was better than the one. Well, she, in character, is a she, yes.
Identity politics.
Now, Michael can say him, she, her, they. Marty is a they. No, Marty is a she. I'll get back to you.
Are you guys on Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah.
Follow us. Be Claudia Wells.
We have Maria. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys had a favorite scene you guys worked on.
The cafe scene. Me?
One of the many kissing scenes for me.
I love working on the Enchantment Under the Sea dance scene because I got to kiss Leah. I love working with Tom, who was a consummate professional recreating the fight. There were a lot of scenes I loved. The art direction of future McFly home was unreal. The detail was magnificent. I'd say about 40% of it never made it to the screen. I have a scene. You want to show pizza, the deleted thing? Watch this. This is deleted. I have a little bit more than what was in it. Do we have sound?
Were you looking at your ass?
kitty, dear. Poor No, I don't want to. Oh, no.
Mommy, no touch your phone.
Okay.
I'd like some tea, please.
Okay. I'm gonna have to call him back.
I still think we should have started eating this.
Damn it, Molly, that's the damn choke tea.
Why isn't he home yet?
I'm not sure where Jennifer is now.
So the reason these scenes took so long to shoot, we had to wait, of course, for Michael to change costume and makeup to get into each character. And then the camera would actually splice the film. So our movements would have to be so precise, we'd have to hit the marks with the props and could not vary from it because the camera slicing the film, everything had to match. It would take him a couple hours to change makeup and character. We do coverage and stuff while he was changing, but the days were incredibly long and a lot of things weren't working. Just 2 weeks ago, I went back to my script, Paradox, which is 2 and 3 in the same script, and I was looking at some of these scenes, and there was one version where Marty is hanging upside down. They didn't know what the heck they were going to be doing without Crispin, so they were rewriting all these different versions. It's kind of fascinating to see them kind of, playing it by ear and how they didn't know me that much and how much, they had confidence in me. They were giving Leah my lines and Michael my lines. I've got several of them back. I came up with the banana thing that's not in the film, but where it's fruit please, and they gave me a banana, and George is trying to eat the banana upside down, and the peel keeps slapping me in the face. It was funny to make us laugh, but he didn't keep it. Anyway, and he didn't keep the 4.
Oh, I thought that was good.
Thanks.
Yeah, besides the DeLorean, were there any other cars you guys were excited to see on set?
Yeah.
Herbie. No, I'm kidding.
She was in the Love Bug series. The taxis, all those cars in 2015 Hill Valley, really cool to see up front and close. And someone actually drove one of them off the lot and stole it. Is that turn out yet?
I have no idea. I just know the convertibles and stuff. Part 2, I don't really know. That was a joke.
Timing.
Were you thinking about a music career after this movie?
Who, me?
No, the singer.
Well, they said I couldn't sing.
Well, no, I've been an actor and a singer and dancer and teacher and stuff like my life. So this was, once again, we talked about, it was just a great gig. I never saw the script, so it was just like I got to sing a song, I got a gold record, and life kind of went on. I mean, I didn't know about Back to the Future being this thing either because I do a lot of theater. Theater, yes. Person out there, yes. You can project.
Yeah.
It's a lost art, like everyone wants to be Mike, but how do you fill the space? So singing is just kind of, I call it acting on pitch. Because you're trying to tell a story, you're doing a monologue, you want people to change, have them feel something. I'm just not, I'm not trying to be an opera singer or a rock and roll singer. No, yeah, I know you was. You're not right now, where were you? Okay, try that again. Okay. Oh my God. I didn't go there. You did not hear that? Erase that. That's Earth Angel.
Harry calls himself a teacher, but really he's a professor.
Yeah, I do all this stuff that they give you. Is anybody here work in higher education? It's hell, isn't it? Oh my God. The things are so intense because the stakes are so low. No one cares what goes on in higher ed except those of us in higher ed. However, I'm thankful because actually this industry is such a supporter and it's kind of like connects to higher education works because we all take care of each other. I was explaining to somebody earlier today is what we try to do with our skills is we want people to be more human beings. And I want to cordially say, I'm so thankful that the fans who are probably the most humans I've ever met in my life because you all show up fully as who you are. Because you're not really being fake. I mean, you may have a cosplay outfit, so that's a whole other conversation. But it's so great that you're real and you get to be here so grateful. I am actually so humbled to the fact that you all are all here today.
And Harry actually fronts a band I put together for the Back to the Future cruise called Mr. Fusion, and Don plays bass, Mark McClure plays, Dave McFly plays drums.
And what do you play?
I play guitar.
You play time.
And so hopefully, you know, in the future, Mr. Fusion will come play this show, and then who knows what may happen at the Enchantment on the Sea that dance tonight.
Is anyone coming to the prom tonight? Yes, yes. Okay. You people are like, oh, you're too young. Okay, I see.
Any more questions?
Yes. Yeah, you, man.
Do y'all have any other choices for a car besides the DeLorean?
Give me the microphone again. He doesn't have your skills up there. Do we have these?
Did y'all have any other choices for a car besides the DeLorean to have as a time machine?
Originally, they were supposed to have been a refrigerator. And then there was some talk of it being a Mustang, which was never going to happen. And obviously it wound up as the DeLorean. So in answer to your question, there were some thoughts about other types of time travel machines, but none of them really got past the idea stage.
Does anybody know the original way Marty got back from 55 to 85?
Someone's hand up there.
Yes. Bring it on. What do you think it was?
Big time explosion.
That's right. The original scene called for Marty to drive 88 miles an hour at an atomic bomb blast site. The bomb dropping just as he's going under it to get the 1.21 gigawatts. But because Eric Stoltz got fired after 8 weeks of shooting, the studio execs came to production and said, well, you want Michael J. Fox, you have to take $1 million off your budget. So they cut that whole scene and came up with the clock tower.
That's a better story.
One wonders how Jeffrey gets all this information.
I've been doing these sites. This is so when you see at the theater, the Atomic Kid playing, that's a play off that scene that was never shot.
Everybody's things you learn.
Win those trivia contests.
My parking place at my apartment complex is number 88. How cool is that? What are the chances?
This is the plan, right?
No. It was happenstance. Synchronicity.
There was another question behind it. Yes.
Did any of you guys get to ride the ride at Universal?
I did.
No?
I was in the pre-show queue stuff, and when I saw my feet and my work, I was like, oh, they owe me money, and then they wouldn't pay me. I got whiplash on the ride.
There was a ride at Universal? That was a joke.
Any more?
Timing. Delivery, yes.
How do you do, Bob?
I'm just enjoying the questions, because I don't have to think of it.
I have a question. I have a question for this gentleman right there. What is that hat?
Oh, I know, yeah.
Steam.
Could you stand and show the audience so that we can all see you? Where's the flower spot? Isn't there?
Look at that.
Are there other cast members go out and do these cons with you? How many do you get, in one sitting?
What?
When you go out to do the conventions, how many other cast members do you get? Is it just the four? Do you get other people from the cast?
I'm new, so this is like the gang that I kind of hang with. It's called the Dream Team. So otherwise, I never get to see Michael or Chris. I did do a thing with Chris or Leah or Tom, who's back now, sucking up all the work. Anyway,
Well, in 2015, you saw Michael in 2015, and Leah and Chris.
one.
We're kind of like different squads on the same team.
They do a lot together.
They'll be in one part of the world, we'll be in another part of the world. Sometimes we'll come together, sometimes we won't. And it's just, the BTTF sphere is how it is.
The what?
The BTTF sphere.
Sphere.
Yeah.
The first show we did in 2008 in Hollywood, they had like 20 of the cast and crew there. And because Chris and Leah were the big names, most of the fans went right to them. And so everyone else in the cast was like, oh, well, we're over here. Well, they're all... And then Michael, who was on a book tour, showed up unannounced on the Sunday. And he got mobbed. And so it was like, you know, Francis and Leah and all of us, we said, bye, we're going to lunch. And Michael was like, hey, you guys, help! But that was the first time a lot of us had seen Michael in person with the effects of his PD. And it was, you know, it was really heartbreaking because he's such a great guy and such great energy. And the Parkinson's at that point was driving him. He couldn't, you know, his body would have to move in certain ways because of the Parkinson's. And you know, of course, it's progressed since then in many ways. And it's heartbreaking, yet he's still a wonderful spirit. Michael is just a fantastic guy, and our hearts go out to him, and we try to raise money for Parkinson's whenever possible, so please do it.
The Orange logo, Fox, find it online.
Well, I'm afraid that that's all the time we have at this panel. Please.
Wait, no, we have flux capacitors. We can go back and get one.
We need some donuts.
I will back in time. So please come to our table. We are on the second floor east, and we'll be happy to sing and dance and sign autographs for you.
All right.